If you have a bag or pouch pattern that is like half the size, and by half the size, I mean when you print that pattern and you place it on the fabric, to trace it and cut it, you actually have to place it on the fold. And that is simply that you have to take your fabric and fold it in half, and you place that pattern right at that edge. And instead of doing that, you want to actually be able to see the entire pattern piece on the fabric laid out so you can have a better view or a better idea of how big this really is. Or if you don't have enough fabric and you want to make sure that you have enough fabric for the entire piece, then you definitely want to be able to extend that pattern. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I get these a lot at the dollar store. You can probably buy these at Amazon or any like store that sells kitchen supplies. These are cutting mats, and they are very thin. Um, and they bend easily. They twist. They're just great. You can find them at the dollar store um, for a very reasonable price here in the USA. And when you open them, they are kind of see-through a little bit, right? And like I said, very flexible. And if you have scissors, look, very easy to cut. So I use these a lot to make templates for my patterns. So I have this one pattern for a pouch that I'm working on, that this is the middle point where it will be the fold. So I figure it's easier if I just join them, okay, to make one whole piece. So that's what I'm going to show you. So this is one for a large pouch, the medium pouch, and we're going to do together the one for the small or the mini pouch. Okay, so I have half of a sheet, okay. Um, you can just, I can use this entire one and cut it in half, but I already have half of a sheet, so I'd rather keep the big, ones for another pattern that I may need in the future. I'm going to put these aside. What I do is that I get some duct tape, and I like to tape the cutting mats to my other cutting mat. I like to just tape it in place because these are very soft and they tend to slide a little bit. And I place them so that they match the markings on my uh, rotary cutting mat. Okay. And we're simply going to trace these. However, if I trace them right at the edge here, like this is the bottom, this is the fold, if I put my pattern there and then I just trace it here, um, I'm not going to have any plastic to overlap the two pieces together. So I just need a little bit of room to overlap one on top of the other. Otherwise, it won't stay in place. Okay, it won't stay firm like this, and that's what I need. I take my ruler, and this ruler has that half an inch mark here, graded area in orange. So that helps because I just place my ruler over the edge of my plastic cutting mat, and I take a marker, a permanent marker, and I just draw a line at the half an inch marking. Okay. Now I'm going to put it facing me. It's easier for me to see. And again, I want to make sure that I always place my plastic cutting mat or my plastic mat over the markings of my rotary cutting mat. And now I'm going to place the bottom of my pattern over that line. At this point, you can either get a weight. I used these lead weights that I had, or you can use whatever weights you have. Consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel if you have learned something today. I'm going to put a little piece of tape down here at the bottom because I am not going to draw a line there because I already did. So I just want my pattern to stay in place. And there it is. So now I'm going to extend this line here to the bottom of the plastic mat that I'm going to cut. Okay. I'm going to pull this out. And now I have my template here. And with regular scissors, you're just going to cut along that line. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. This is like the outer part of this pattern because I've seen other videos where people say they use that if they need to fussy cut and they need to like make sure they know where the fabric is going to needs to be placed. Say I want this flower right in the center. This also helps if say this is not clear enough. If you have one that is not clear enough and you cannot see through, this is another way that you can verify that your fabric will be in the placement that you want it to be, and you can just trace the fabric here like this. But these little cutting mats are great because they're pretty see-through. I mean, they used to be better, I have to say. But I can't complain. I can still see if I need to fussy cut. So now all I have to do is overlap the original over that mark, over that half an inch mark here. You align it there, and at first I'm just going to put a little piece of tape and just make sure that everything it's even on the sides, that it's not like that, or you know, or even like that. You just want it to be exactly on the side right there. Actually, I'm gonna do this with the, I'm gonna write down these measurements because when I put the tape here, it's going to delete that. I'm not gonna be able to see that. That's another thing I love about these, that I can just write down in there how many pieces I need, exterior, lining, the zipper side. I can poke a hole and that tells me where the placement is for my snaps, anything. And these, you know, are really, really handy little things. Okay, so I'm just going to place them right there. Let me get another piece of tape first. Here. I like to tape the back along that edge there. And finally, I'm going to do a tape that goes from the front along the sides, all the way across, and at that side as well. And that's it. So when it's time to, cut my fabric, all I have to do is just place it here. Find, I said, okay, I like this location. I like, I can make one, two, three. I know exactly how many I can make because I don't have to fold the fabric. I can just take the piece of fabric and then just place the template as many times as I need to, and then I can decide, oh, I can make more this way or this way, etc. So that's how make, I extend a pattern so I don't have to cut the fabric on the fold. And it is great to be able to place on the fabric and be able to know exactly where to cut. Yes, Tino. Yes, it's new. It's new, huh? It's a new thing. You gotta smell it. You gotta see what it is, right? Okay. Okay. Bye bye. I gotta work.